Okay, say when.
And ready.
Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Coffee with Father James. I have the Scottish mug this week. Not exactly Scottish coffee. I don't quite know what that is, but it's definitely not that. Well, this is the week in which the Holy Father is in Canada, his first ever visit to Canada. And he's here for one singular purpose, not to visit the faithful as a whole. It's not that kind of pastoral visit. He's coming as a representative, as the leader of the church, as the pontiff, the word which means bridge builder, to build a bridge of reconciliation and healing with the Aboriginal peoples, and to help us, I think, all Canadians grapple with this painful part of our history and our heritage. And this, I'm recording this on Monday. Some of you will watch this on Tuesday. He's in Alberta, I think, until Wednesday, and then he heads to Quebec. He's in Quebec Thursday, then on Friday morning he heads to Nunavut before he heads back to Rome. And so it's a whirlwind visit for this senior man who is finding himself more and more. You've seen the pictures. He's in a wheelchair, so it's a really heroic effort on his part. So, what's our response? Well, first of all, as parishioners of Our Lady of Guadalupe, we are part of a parish named after an apparition of our Blessed Mother, who appeared to an Aboriginal person, who appeared in the guise of a young Aboriginal woman. And so I think as a parish, we have a particular calling to pay very close attention to this moment in history. Now, it's complicated. This is a complex socio-political, historical issue. And so number one, there's going to be a lot of news coverage. And I just say, beware the simple narratives. Beware these narratives that oversimplify what is a complex historical reality. Number two, there's no question that the church participated in different places to some degree or another in a system that was inherently unjust. Now, at the time, people didn't see it that way in terms of the system. And so we've got to be careful when we talk about judging people in the past, when we need to be aware of the temptation to judge people of the past by the standards of today. It doesn't change the fact that now we see through a different lens and we see things today that we didn't know at the time. And thirdly, there is the issue of the particular instances of abuse carried out by particular members of the church who themselves were representatives of the Christian churches that ran these schools. And so this institution left a deep wound in the heart of many of our Aboriginal people. And the Pope is here on a pilgrimage of reconciliation. You know, sometimes when we want to be reconciled, we have to try to put aside that instinct to justify ourselves or to defend ourselves and to say, yeah, but, or to somehow qualify things. Instead, you know, if we want to really be agents of reconciliation, sometimes we just have to, shall I say, shut up and listen. And I think that's what the Holy Father is here to do. He's here to not speak, but to listen. To listen to the pain, to listen to the hurt. And when the listening is over, to offer an unqualified apology, an unqualified request for forgiveness. And I believe that Pope Francis is graced by God for this particular moment. And I'm going to ask you as parishioners of Our Lady of Guadalupe to really commit to praying for him in these days, praying for the church as a whole, that even though some of the coverage in the media might be painful, it might not be the whole truth of that complex historical reality, that all Christians, all Catholics will have the grace to shut up and listen and participate in this apology that the Holy Father is making for the sake of reconciliation, for the sake of healing, not just of our Aboriginal people, but a reconciliation and healing that may spill over to Canada as a nation, so that we can go forward, not just conscious of the injustices of the past, but ready to address the injustices of the present. Aside from that, I want to thank you for your prayers and support for the conference in Dallas last week. It was an incredible experience. There were 600 delegates, mostly from across the US. There were a group of people from London, England, from Mexico, from Poland. There was a person from Spain and Austria as well, but mostly from the US. Oh, also people from Canada. But it was a great experience, and I returned to the parish, a bit tired, but also really refreshed and glad to be home. Now, I'm no sooner back than I have to tell you that I'm going again. Now, these trips have been planned for almost a year. I knew they were coming, so we're prepared for it. And I'm going to be leaving on Thursday. I'm going to be traveling to California to speak at a conference in California, and I will be returning on Sunday. So I won't be around this weekend. Now, Father Robert is all equipped, all ready to go, and I'll see you next week when I get back. So please, if you can remember me in your prayers when you're not praying for Pope Francis and for God's grace to overflow in this trip to Canada, if you can remember a prayer for me as well. Thank you, and God bless.